Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, let's talk about Carnival Cruise Line making some itinerary changes and the controversy that's bringing up. They're changing multiple stops on multiple ships. We also have Princess Cruises is sending another ship back to from the Caribbean to the Mediterranean. It just arrived back, and I've got some questions on it, and a lot of people have some questions on it. We also have Alaska. Alaska season is just starting off, and people often ask me, who's the most popular cruise line in Alaska? Well, to be honest, it has to be this cruise line, and I'll explain why. So let's talk about Carnival Cruise Line. Recently, they changed some itineraries on the Carnival Horizon to skip the stop in Grand Turk. And instead, they're going to their private area, Amber Cove, in the Dominican Republic. That's on one ship, multiple sailings. Now, as early as May of next month, they've also changed it on the Carnival Forenza, and the Carnival Mardi Gras is also having Grand Turk disappear, and Amber Cove is being replaced. Now, a lot of people have been speculating the reason why they are skipping Grand Turk, and well, is it because it's overcrowded in Grand Turk? No, that doesn't seem to be the reason why. Is it maybe to save fuel? Maybe to save fuel on distance and everything? No, I don't think that's the reason. To be honest, the reason seems pretty obvious to me. It's their private area. They're making a lot of money on what everybody spends and does there. It's Carnival-owned area. It's just like going to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Royal Caribbean's making all the money that you spend on that place, on the water parks, on the bungalows, on the swimming, the drinks, everything. They're making the money. Carnival's doing the same thing at Amber Cove. So it kind of makes sense for them to be sending their ships to those areas. Again, it does seem to take away from the ultimate destination of being on a cruise in multiple areas. But right now, many cruise lines out there just seem to be going for what could make us the most money, as opposed to providing the best destination and the best cruising for everybody. For instance, Royal Caribbean going to all the Oasis class ships by 2026, 2027, except for I think one, all the Oasis class and Icon ships will be doing 3, 4, and 5 night sailings. No more 7-night sailings. Basically going to the Perfect Day at Coco Cay in the Caribbean or Nassau. And those are your only destinations. So it does seem that this is happening more and more on multiple cruise lines, and I think we're going to be worse for the experience. And I understand why they're doing it. It's nice to control the itinerary. It's nice to control who goes there and whether or not they can say you can't go there or not. But that doesn't mean that we have to like that we're always going to these locations. Next, the Sun Princess is back in Europe doing Mediterranean cruises. That's where it launched last year with some big fanfare, but unfortunately didn't really get the excitement that a lot of people were hoping for. The ship is a big change from its normal designs. If you've been on a Royal class ship in Princess, the Sun Princess is completely different. The buffet is lower. It's on deck 9. It's not up on the Lido deck. The theater is smaller and round shaped. A lot of things take place in the Piazza instead of Princess Live. They don't record the Yes No game show anymore in Princess Live, that you could watch it in your stateroom if you happen to get up there and want to watch yourself. It's now in the Piazza where they don't record. There's a lot of changes. A lot of good, a lot of people not so happy with. But there was a change recently that I was on with my group in March, and I noticed, and that's the dome, the big glass sphere dome up top, where they used to have 3 different Cirque du Soleil type performances. and there were none on my sailing. There were zero. They had a juggler up there occasionally, and that was it. And when I researched it more, wondering, did they remove the performances and everything? It still says they're going on. It still says they're still happening on all the advertising, and they're even saying on the upcoming Star Princess, this is still a thing. But when I call and I question and I say, well, why weren't they on our sailing or anything like that? I'm getting no responses. But remember, they've had a big shakeup at Princess recently, and a lot of my contacts are gone. Just gone. And I have to try and make new ones again now. But it is puzzling. And so I'm wondering if somebody is out there right now on the Sun Princess or taking the Sun Princess recently, since I've been on in March. Let me know, are those Cirque du Soleil performances up in the dome happening again, or are they still not going on? It may have been a case of we were the ship directly before the transatlantic, which means they could have been waiting for the crew to get on board in Europe as opposed to putting them on in North America. They could be coming from someplace else, although the company they use is based in Canada. So I don't know, but it's a big question. So let me know if you guys have seen the Cirque du Soleil shows, type performances like Blue and that upstairs in the dome. I'd really like to know if they're continuing or not. And next, I get asked all the time with the Alaska season just kicking off recently in Seattle, Vancouver's just about to take their first cruise ships. What is the most popular cruise line in Alaska? Well, you kind of have to say it's Princess Cruise Lines. They have, this year alone, 7 different ships sailing to Alaska. They have the Ruby, the Caribbean Princess, they have the Grand Princess, they have the Sapphire Princess, they have the Coral Princess, they have the Discovery Princess, and they have the Royal Princess. And they're leaving from multiple destinations. They're leaving from Los Angeles, they're leaving from San Francisco, they're leaving from Seattle, they're leaving from British Columbia, and of course up in Anchorage, Whittier for return, 7-day north and southbound cruises. So they're offering a lot. Plus they have the lodges up there that have been around forever that are highly anticipated for land tours. They just cover Alaska with Princess. They go by the ton. And next year, the brand new Star Princess will debut in Alaska for the first time, a ship of that size for Princess. So yeah, who's number one? Doesn't mean they're the best cruise line for Alaska, although I love going on Princess to Alaska with the puppies in the piazza that they have on board and the fresh seafood they bring on board and the lecture talks that they have. This, to me, is part of Alaska to me, going on a Princess cruise ship out there. I don't need to have a flow rider in Alaska, right? I don't need to skydive in Alaska. I need to have good views on the top deck, and I need my good food while I'm there and some entertainment. And Princess seems to do that for me. But 7 ships, lodges, you gotta admit, they are definitely the largest cruise presence in Alaska, by far. Well, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about going to private islands now more and more and more, as opposed to more destinations and different destinations? Cutting out destinations you were going to in favor of a private island. Is that the way to go, or is that just limiting our cruise experience? Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.